Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. We've got a big, obviously, weekend of football coming, so lots to talk about here. We're going to do a first look at the week 3 NFL slate. We've also got college, survivor pools, fantasy football. My guillotine league, the FSGA Expert Guillotine League, the waivers for that run on Wednesday nights, not Tuesday nights. So we might take a look at that. Happy Wednesday to you as well. Let me, we might pull that up, take a look. I'm in third place currently. So if you guys remember, this was a 17-team league, but guillotine. So the worst team every week gets eliminated, and then their players go into the waiver wire, and it gets chopped down from there. So we will be down to 16 or 15 teams. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, so there's some good players to pick up there. And I only have one. I'm in third place currently in terms of points scored, but I only have one running back because I have Aaron Jones and Chuba Hubbard. And if you guys remember that team, I'll pull it up and we'll talk about it and show you guys. But yeah, well, the waivers for that run tonight, so we'll talk about that a little bit. As far as yesterday goes, didn't really bet on anything. Someone in the Rolling Insights Discord, my guy Gabe, asked me to make a MLB parlay last night, so I did. We lost it on. It was just 4 teams to win, and it came down to the Dodgers, Phillies. I fell asleep, and the Dodgers were up 4-0, and Ohtani was just shredding the Phillies. And I woke up to see that they lost in the 9th inning. That is 3 of the last 4 days. And look, I really don't have room to complain about anything after the Sunday that we had. But I have no room to complain about anything. But 3 of the last 4 days, we have lost a bet on the last play of a game. Moneyline parlay on college, lost last play of the Notre Dame game Saturday night. I will never forgive Tyler Buckner. This kid has been costing teams college football games for like 8 years, and he still is not even the quarterback and has found a way to cost Notre Dame football games. Anyways, that happened. Huge Sunday. Can't complain about that. Monday night, Houston Texans to cover was my main play. Lost on the last play of the game. And then last night, last inning of the last game of the night, we lose. It's insane. So hopefully that can correct itself soon. I got some spots I really, really like in college this weekend, which we can talk about. And then we got to pick our survivors. So I'm alive. I have 2 entries. My main survivor pool, 2 entries. Both of them are still alive. Let me pull it up. If you're in the chat, let me know who you're using for survivor pools this weekend, or what your early pick is for you guys. I think Bills and Seahawks, and I guess Packers will probably be the chalkiest picks. I have 2 entries alive. On one of them, I've used the Cardinals and the Cowboys. And then on the other, I've used the Denver Broncos and the Arizona Cardinals. So got pretty much every team that's good available. Going to keep trying to do that. In the one, I told you guys last week too, I'm doing a survivor pool where you pick a touchdown scorer every week. I have an entry alive in this. It was around 1,700 people to start. It's down to 776 people. So that one goes quick, it looks like. But we're still alive there. And I think I'm going to go with just since people have been getting eliminated so quickly in that, I think I'm just going to try and survive I'm not looking to save anybody. I'm going to try and survive as long as I can and see how quickly that number of people goes down. But I'm going to use Derrick Henry this week in the touchdown survivor against the Lions. Home game, good total. He didn't score last week, which is kind of an anomaly. So he probably is kind of due. And I think they'll probably, he always seems to like do well in primetime games as well. So Derrick Henry is going to be used in the touchdown survivor pool. I have Steve's survivor pool. This is available on SportWise. So if you go to rollinginsights.com, go into SportWise. This is free. These data spaces are all free. We use these all the time. They'll be added in to the content. Now we're getting into like the thick of the season. So kind of a lot of data that we can use in here. This survivor pool is available to everybody in SportWise. Like I said, at the top of his rankings right here and his formula, we have the Bills at home against the Dolphins. No shocker there. They're 12-point favorites or whatever it is in that game. Tampa at home against the Jets. The Jags at home against the Houston Texans. And then you have like Washington, but this isn't going to compute for the fact that I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to play. Nathan, you switched on the Cowboys and went Miami. Oh, no. Terrible. That sucks, man. Damn. Miami should have won that game. Achane scored at the end of that game, and his foot was slightly out of bounds. That sucks. That's unlucky. I mean, the Cowboys were making me sweat too, so I can't believe the Cowboys pulled that out. I thought they were dead once, Neighbors scored that late touchdown. I think I like the Bucs this week, potentially. I think the Jets defense just looks suspect to me, especially against the run. I think Bucky Irvin can get cooking here, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I can never get the Buccaneers right. So they're kind of in that maybe tier for me. Seattle, I like a lot, their defense, but the Saints, it's like Rattler honestly has not played that bad. So could they like randomly pull an upset? Maybe. I think Seattle is probably like the safest if I had to pick a team, not including the Bills, because I don't want to use the Bills, especially against Miami. I would rather save the Buffalo Bills. The Bucs are 6.5-point favorites at home, and they're going against Tyrod Taylor. That really doesn't change. I don't think there's a massive gap between Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, but Bucs are -6.5 at home. Jags are -2.5. Seattle's -7.5. And then like San Fran is -2.5 at home as well. I honestly don't hate them. I like the way Mac Jones looked. I like this Arizona team. You guys know I have futures on them. But I like the way that Mac Jones looked. They're a little bit farther down. That's kind of the pool I'm considering. I need to see who is like the most popular pick. I'm assuming it's like Buffalo, Seattle, and then maybe Green Bay. But yeah, that's my thoughts early for Survivor Pool. Obviously, we didn't get to do like the recap yesterday, but it's Wednesday now, so I don't really want to go back through that. Brock Purdy has a chance to play. That's from Adam Schefter just now this week. Interesting. Falcons. Yeah, -5.5 on the road though. But yeah, I like the Falcons' defenses looked really, really good to me. Falcons' defense has really, really impressed me. But just like some quick things that stuck out from last week, and stuff I'm looking forward to. Obviously, the DFS video is out, first look. So if you guys play NFL DFS, go check that out on the Rolling Insights YouTube channel. Built my first look lineup and looked at the DraftKings salaries for week 3. So go check that out. But stuff that stuck out to me, tons of quarterback injuries. I mean, Brock Purdy most likely out this week. I would say Jaden Daniels most likely going to miss 1 week. JJ McCarthy probably could miss a couple games. Justin Fields is missing a game. Joe Burrow's obviously out for a few months. Like really, really significant injuries at quarterback already, which is pretty crazy. What do you think about Quentin Johnston? I like what I've seen from him. He's had 2 really good matchups to start because the Chiefs is not really a good matchup, but he had a big game there. And the Chiefs defense hasn't played amazing to start. And then really, really nut spot for him against the Raiders. We talked about that on the stream on Monday, how the Raiders give up splash plays, especially to like outside receivers, which is where he plays. And he got there with 1 long catch for a touchdown. So I don't want to say he's the real deal, but he at the same time doesn't have to be because they have Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey. Like if he's even remotely decent, they have one of the best receiver groups in football, and they have just been letting Justin Herbert rip the football. I'm probably going to add – I don't normally ever add an MVP award this early. Like I take my ones preseason and I wait until we get to the middle of the season. I'm probably going to add Herbert. He's plus the best line I could find was FanDuel at plus 850. I think I'm going to add some on Herbert MVP because if he has another big game this weekend, that those odds are going to go down even further. But I've been really, really, really impressed. Banks need a quarterback to start. T-Law, Mac, Browning, Geno, Tyrod, Mariota. If I don't know if we're going to know about Daniels until the weekend, and we may not know until Sunday. So I would say if Daniels misses, it would be Mariota for me of that grouping. If Daniels plays, it would be honestly probably Mac Jones, assuming. But now I don't know. Now they said Purdy might have a chance to play, but I like how Mac Jones looked. He can run that offense. So that would be my choices. But you might not be able to make that decision until Sunday because I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna know. Would you trade Johnston for Worthy? I'd be receiving Worthy. I don't know if I would, Nathan. I know like I can't believe that Worthy is like going to come back soon and be okay. I thought he was going to be out for the season when that happened. And I just don't see I don't see how he comes back like soon and is effective. And I could be completely wrong with that. Maybe he does, but I don't want to trade for an injured player when I just don't know. So I probably would not look to acquire him at the moment. Too early to place a Chargers division winner? I don't think it is. I definitely think the Chiefs are going to get back in the mix for that. Like that's a given. The tough spot for them against the Eagles. They lost a close game. And then, the Chargers got him in week 1. It was in another country. Worthy got hurt the first play of the game. Like that's a big loss. Like once they start getting their guys back, they're going to get back in the race. But yeah, the Chargers are very good. The defense looks better to me than I thought it was going to be. But I mean, they played the Chiefs with no weapons, and then they played the Raiders. So I want to see it more, but it looks very, very good. And if they actually open up the offense like this and call it like how they should, the sky is the limit. So I definitely think the Chargers could win the division. Looking at some of the games from last week, stuff that sticks out. First and foremost, it's only week 2, going to week 3. I'm just totally done with the offensive lines. I don't know what happened in the NFL. I am so tired of turning on these games Sunday night when I go and rewatch stuff. Most of these offensive lines are so bad. I am tired of watching it. And I know these guys are bigger and stronger and faster than ever, and they can rush the passer. I am tired of these guys drop back and they're instantly in the backfield. It is the most tilting thing to watch. What happened to Nebraska and Wisconsin and like these Big Ten teams that used to be offensive line factories? Where are these guys at? Because a lot of these teams are just literally getting abused in the trenches, and it is so annoying to watch. I'm tired of it, honestly. We need an offensive line renaissance or something, because if I was one of these rookie quarterbacks coming in, I would literally have a sit down meeting with the GM and say, you can give me Sterling Shepard, give me Keenan Allen, and like a field stretcher. Give me like a Brandon Cooks or something. Just give me all those guys at receiver and draft rookie receivers and spend all the money you have on the offensive line, because these guys are getting killed. CJ Stroud is going to get killed behind that Texans offensive line. Joe Burrow, when's the last time Joe Burrow played a healthy season? Now, partially that is Joe Burrow's fault because he said he wanted T. Higgins. But at the same time, the Bengals are so stupid and don't know how contracts work. They probably wouldn't have been able to sign offensive linemen anyways, or just not did it. So it's partially Joe Burrow's fault, but it's also the Bengals are just stupid. So I don't know what's going on across the league, but these young quarterbacks are going to die. I mean, they're not going to last long. It's insane, and it's terrible to watch. We need an offensive line like an awakening. And these teams, the Chargers are one of the only teams that look good, and they took a lot of shit when they took Joe Alt over those receivers. But how does that look now? Now, it helps out when you hit on Ladd McConkey in the second round, who clearly should not have been a second-round pick. But how does that look now? These teams got to figure shit out, because these offensive lines are terrible, and it's only there's only been 2 weeks of games, and I am just tired of watching it. So we got to fix something on the offensive line. And I'm telling you, if I was a young quarterback, I would literally say, like, just spend all your money on the line. I'll go throw to whoever. And shouldn't that be the thesis anyways? If you're such a good quarterback, why do you need T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? I understand wanting one of them, but I mean, come on. If you're so good, you can throw to whoever. That D-line worries me because they got no – yeah. Well, that was my question, Goodwill. Coming into the season, that was my reasoning. I wasn't a little bit higher on the Chargers when it comes to future stuff. They lost so much of their production when it comes to getting after the quarterback last year. I didn't know – it's really hard to, like, fill that in, the amount of production they lost when it comes to rushing the passer. And – now they lost Khalil Mack too. Like, it's going to be hard for them to replicate that. So, and when that's not as good, like, obviously that's going to take a toll on the back end. But Jesse Minter is very, very good. One of the better defensive coordinators in the league. He will be, a head coach candidate soon. So he could probably whip something up and figure something out. But yeah, that Khalil Mack injury really does hurt them. I think the Broncos are honestly probably live this week. Just a 2.5 point spread. I mean, I could see Denver. I know Denver hasn't played very good to start the year, but I think Denver is a live dog this week for sure. Houston, I think, is a live dog. Denver, Cincy. That's probably the three that stick out. I mean, New England is live, but that's like a 1.5 point. It's not really the same situation. Let's see. Anything else? Obviously, Mac Jones looked really good to me. And that was a big step because I brought it up on Sunday on the stream that the 49ers have really struggled no matter who was at quarterback. The last few years when George Kittle was out of the lineup, they did not struggle on Sunday. It was a close game against the Saints, but that was more so about the Saints just overperforming on offense than it was the 49ers. I mean, Spencer Rattler threw for 3 touchdown passes. Somehow none of them went to Chris Olave once again, but Spencer Rattler has really stuck out to me as one of the things that have stuck out the most throughout the first couple weeks. I mean, he's played really, really good football. I don't know what to do. Like, the Bengals can keep themselves in the playoff race probably with Browning until Burrow comes back, but we'll kind of see on that. The Bears defense is atrocious right now. That was crazy. Rome Odunze, though, man, shout out. I know we've talked about it a lot, but I'm still going to victory lap that hit we had. Looking like a potential league winner right now in fantasy. He's got another good matchup this week against Dallas. 50-point total. Really, really good spot for him again. Browns look like a really, really big pass funnel defense to me right now. They have essentially, if you go and look just overall, I'm pretty sure the Browns are like yards per play allowed at one of the top in the league. Let me see. Let me pull this up. It's just insane how big the difference is between the Browns' offense and defense. Yeah, Cleveland is number 2 in the NFL right now in yards per play allowed on defense, behind only Green Bay. Green Bay's at 3.7 yards per play allowed. Cleveland's at 3.8. They're the only two under 4. And Cleveland is 0-2, and they just got beat by like 30. Like, do you understand how hard that is? I'm pretty sure they outgained the Ravens in that game and got beat by 30 points. That's like insane. And their run defense has been really, really strong. So I think there's like some potential, prop stuff coming for the Packers this week. I think we can look at in the receiving game. We know Jim Schwartz, he's willing to play man-to-man on the back end in the secondary. The back end of the Browns, their secondary hasn't been great. Their run defense has been really, really good. They're really good at getting after the passer. But, the corners have struggled. And the Packers have a good receiving core, and they've got Jordan Love has been surgical. We've talked about that a number of times on stream. So, when we think about like Romeo Doubs, Matthew Golden, even Dontavian Wicks, I think there is some room for some prop angles in the Packers passing game this weekend. I'm definitely going to be considering some stuff there. I know we hit Dobbs on Monday night last week, or Thursday night rather. We hit him. I think we could maybe look at Golden. I want to see what his line is at. I don't see his receiving line up yet, but he leads the team in air yards right now. They have not connected on a big play, but if you guys think back, the one bad throw Jordan Love made against Washington, he had Matthew Golden open for that touchdown when they went for it on 4th down, and he just underthrew him. If they had connected already on a big play, I think the perception of him would be different. So I think that's still something that we can get ahead of, very much like Rome, where I felt really strong about that matchup and like we were getting ahead of it. Now everybody is kind of hip to the Rome Odunze thing. I think we can do the same thing with Matthew Golden, someone we were high on coming into the season. Good matchup. He's top like 5 or 6 in the NFL right now in separation score per fantasy points. If you look at their separation score metric, which if we're looking for guys that are going to be facing man coverage, you want guys that are good at getting separation, good at getting open. Both Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden fit that mold. But I'm assuming Golden's line is going to be a good bit lower than Dobbs, and we can probably get better odds on like a ladder play. So Matthew Golden this week, definitely early consideration for our Sunday ladder against the Browns, and especially because I don't know if they're going to be able to just pound Josh Jacobs over and over and over again against an actual good run defense. So I'm definitely interested there. Let me pull up. I'll pull up unabated, and we'll do an early look at some of the lines this week. I agree, Nathan. I could see Golden getting loose this weekend finally. I know our guy Sandy will like that, big Packers fan, and he was all in on Golden props last Thursday. That did not work out, but I think I saw he tweeted he was going back to the well this weekend. All right, let's do this. All right, early look at lines for this weekend. Obviously, we'll be talking Thursday night football tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon on the stream. So don't need to dive in a ton there. Colts minus 4.5 against the Titans. I don't really have anything that sticks out there. Maybe, I don't know. Steelers, Patriots. Dante Thornton too. Yeah, Nathan. Look, I know it didn't work out Monday, and we were on it, and it didn't work out, but I'm definitely willing to go back to the well with Dante Thornton. The Chargers are really, really hard to get deep against with how they scheme their defense. And it just, that ended up like they took some deep shots to him, and he just it was double or triple coverage every time. Like he didn't really have an opportunity. He would have had to make a crazy play. I think they're going to be more than willing. His snap rate went up. He was up over 80%. He ran a ton of routes. I definitely agree with you that we go back to Thornton Sunday. I like Bucks, but I don't know, man. It looks banged up from the injury report. And I got Matt texting me right now about Bucks going to be missing both tackles this week. So I don't know. And I know they lost guys on defense. I got to go. I'll have to dive into like the injury report there. Rams, Eagles. I kind of think the Rams are a fine play there. This is not stuff I haven't bet any NFL sides yet. This is just me talking through, like without doing any firm research. I would lean Rams side. I'll just go through every game. I would lean Titans side of this at home to keep it close. I would lean Patriots side here. I would lean Bucs side here. I would lean probably Commanders side there, even with Mariota. And I'm assuming that Mariota, or they at least expect Mariota to play, the fact that it's a 3-point line there. I would lean Rams side here. Probably lean Falcons, but I don't know. That's a close one. Lean Vikings probably here. Coin flip, Packers. Coin flip. Honestly, coin flip. The Seahawks have a very, very good defense, and the Saints have like not been as bad as we thought on offense. Like the Saints have been both games. They've been in both games to start the year. Kind of like 49ers against the Cardinals, even though I'm high on the Cardinals. They haven't looked great offensively, I'm going to be honest. And they let the Panthers back in that game. I don't know what to do with Dallas, Chicago. I don't know. I don't really like any of these sides just upon first look at anything. I could see getting into like some Vikings team total stuff against the Bengals. Bad defense. I think they've been pretty run heavy to start the year. I think Minnesota can throw the ball more this weekend. There's some room for that with Carson Wentz coming in. More capable and trustworthy probably for KOC to just call his offense with Carson Wentz, like a true veteran guy in there. I could see them being a little more pass heavy. You can definitely attack Cincy's secondary. So I could see like Minnesota team total being a look. New England running back stuff from a prop angle could maybe stick out to me. Good spot for Ibuka in the Jets-Bucks game. I was looking at some stuff earlier. Jets are top 3 in yards after the catch allowed this season through 2 weeks. Emeka Ibuka is top 6 or 7 in the NFL in expected yak per route. He's pretty just high up on the yak list in general. Weirdly, the Jets have not given up a high average depth of target either, which would probably work more towards Ibuka than Mike Evans. So good spot for Ibuka in this one. Prop stuff. Obviously, good spot for the running back situation here against the Panthers. I already talked about the Packers receivers I'm interested in. Really going to be curious to see what happens in this Houston Jags game. Like, can the Jags passing offense get going? Can Nico Collins get going more? They're going to have Christian Kirk back, and it just so happens to be a revenge game. I think Christian Kirk is going to be big for the Texans offense. CJ Stroud has always thrown to his slot receivers a lot. It's a lot more trustworthy for him. I feel like probably going to Christian Kirk versus like a Justin Watson or, these other guys that they have had playing. So Christian Kirk in his first game back against his former team could be interesting prop angle. Still want to buy low on Olave. I know the Seahawks defense is very good, but I still think Olave is like a good buy low. Great spot for Odunze again, and just the Bears passing offense in general. Good spot for the Dallas passing game. Really just a good game. I mean, you could tell that's the only game with a decent total on this slate, and you can understand why. Chiefs, Giants. Probably a Wandale spot for me on the Giants side. Scatterboo obviously saw a big roll increase last week. I do think that can be sticky. So probably like Scatterboo and Wandale area on the Giants side. On the Chiefs side, I don't know. Go back to Juju maybe. Kind of gross. All right, I'm going to pull up quickly this Guillotine League before we head out of here. Tomorrow we'll be live at 4 o'clock. Obviously, big Thursday night football preview. So here's the league. You can see here I'm in third place currently. I only have one running back because Aaron Jones is out now. So, we have Dak, Chuba, and for this being a 17-team league, like being able to draft Jefferson, JSN, and Pickens is pretty crazy in my opinion in a 17-team league. But I feel fine at quarterback, especially with Dak being in a huge total this week, and that's probably going to be a lot of the norm moving forward with how their defenses looked. Mike, yeah, I talked about it at the top of the stream. Let me link you this post from Steve where he was talking a little bit about some Survivor stuff this week. I'll drop this in the chat. I don't know if this will go to the Twitter chat though. Yeah, it only went to Twitch chat and YouTube chat, but we'll talk more about it obviously tomorrow too. But there's a data space up on Rolling Insights in SportWise, which has rankings for it. I'm leaning like Seattle or Tampa right now, but I need to think about it a little bit more. Yeah, hop in Twitch. I'll repost the link again in the Twitch chat in a couple minutes. But anyways, 17-team league, which it gets chopped every week. I like my team right now. I like having Dak. I like Chuba's fine, reliable, especially in a league of this size, like just getting reliable production. Now, where this burns me is I only have one running back right now, and there's a really good one available to pick up, but I'm probably going to have to spend all of my money, and I'll show you guys. And if that's the case, if either I'm going to be in a real bad spot if the guy that I pick up or Chuba get hurt, because I'm going to have to spend all my money to get this guy on the wire this week. And then I'm not going to have any more money. So I'm not going to be able to like pick anyone up. It's going to have to be like the scraps after people put in their waiver claims. So I'm going to show you. So this is our team right now. I feel pretty good about it. We're in third place. I like having Jefferson, JSN, Pickens with Dak. and Ferguson and stuff. All that's fine and good. We got Romeo Dobbs on the bench. We have Dante Thornton. Those are two good stashes. I like having those guys. I need Jaden Blue to I'm going to hold on to him in the event that he gets active maybe as the season progresses. But if we go to the waiver wire here, you can see I currently have all of my money wagered on Jonathan Taylor, who is available. So if I'm assuming I'm going to get Jonathan Taylor unless somebody has 1,000 and they put 1,000 on him. But I highly doubt anyone else is doing this. I'm spending all my money on Jonathan Taylor. If I get him, which I'm assuming I do, I'm not going to have any fab for the rest of the season. And if one of Taylor or Chuba get hurt, I'm going to be in a real tough spot. But I think we take the risk. If we redrafted today, I think Jonathan Taylor would be a top 5 pick in fantasy drafts. And I think we can survive and advance with our team if we can just stay healthy with the Dak, Pickens, Jefferson, JT, JSN. I think that can carry us for quite some time. And the longer we go, the less fab everyone's going to have. So maybe we can survive long enough to where a lot of people don't have any, money left. But I think we go all in and we grab JT here. I've never played in one of these leagues, so I don't know if this is a smart strategy or not, but I'm going to take the risk and grab JT this week. You're exactly right. I was thinking CJ Stroud. Yeah, I don't understand why these guys – I would literally say just give me 3 or 4 veteran receivers that don't cost a lot of money, and then spend all of your money on the offensive line and the defense. And then every year when we come to the draft, we can just draft receivers and eventually we'll hit on one of those guys. But I would want the priority if I'm a quarterback to be the offensive line. And I'll go elevate and make my receivers better because these guys, Stroud, Joe Burrow, is Joe Burrow going to play a full career at this point? When he's missed so many games with so many significant injuries. You guys remember last year there was that report that, his wrist would never be the same or he would never be able to grip the football the same or whatever after that wrist surgery. I mean, the guy has played – this is his, 6th season. He just now, this past year, had his first full offseason where he was able to play in the preseason, wasn't coming back from injury. There's been 2 times he's played 16 games and then 17. Significant injury in 2023, significant injury in 2020, and now another significant injury. Turf toe, a little bit different than blowing your knee out or having the wrist surgery, but still, I mean, Arian Foster said yesterday he had turf toe really bad, I guess, and he felt the effects of that for 5 years after. So I don't know. These guys are just not going to survive getting hit by these guys over and over. So it's annoying to watch. Overall, though, that about does it. I don't have any bets currently. Tomorrow we will talk Thursday Night Football. Friday we'll talk college football and NFL. I got some spots I really, really like in the college streets this week. I might tweet one out tonight, so stay tuned for that. My favorite play of the year thus far, college football. I know we're only 4 weeks in, but this is a big play for me. I'm excited for it. I've been waiting for the spot. So we'll talk about that later. Thursday Night Football preview tomorrow. Bets, touchdown picks, DFS, all that good stuff. And good. If you're betting tonight, good luck on baseball or whatever. We're getting to the end of the season. I'll be back betting baseball for the playoffs, but focusing on football for the time being. Good luck tonight, and I will see everybody tomorrow at 4.